new topic. This for the what is a life cycle perspective in the EMS environmental management system ISO 14001 2015. The terminology and what's actually the definition, what is the life cycle perspective, and how it can affect our organization in terms of operations, how we have different aspects for our organization and what are their impacts on the environment. So we will discuss this as we have this life cycle perspective is a new concept in the ISO 14001 2015 standard. As we have had this from environmental aspect, as in the safety, health and safety, we have the risk register. Similarly, in the environment, we have the environmental aspect and impact register. So, when we are talking about the aspects, we have to understand the life cycle perspective. When we are talking about the life cycle perspective, like see the examples of any manufacturing organizations. In the manufacturing organizations, we have different departments. The design. So the life cycle perspective start with the designing. After the designing process, there is procurement or supply chain. Then in supply chain also we have different activities, and in the supply chain not we are getting the raw material, but how we are getting, through which source we are getting the our raw material. And because over here we are using the vehicles, so the vehicles need fuel, and this fuel is disturbing our environment. Now, so in this case, how we will control this? So different controls with different process, different activities, function and sub-functions, there are controls. How we will use controls, this we have to manage in the life cycle perspective. Now after distribution, after we are receiving the raw material for the process, in this we have to unloading the raw material. So again we will use the forklift. When we are using the forklift, which type of forklift we will use, means in terms of fuel, means the diesel one, the gas, work on gas, LPG or CNG, and also like the chargeable electric charge. So it depends on us that what type. If we want to save the environment, well, we go first for the electric charge. After this, if it's not possible, not available, we don't have the resources, then we will go for the one that is operated on gas, because the gas as compared to the diesel is not so creating so much pollution, so it's environmental friendly gas. Now after this, when we are say suppose that we have diesel, so for the diesel we will have emergency management, and also other chemical. When we take this to our environment, like say we are a transformer manufacturing company, so in this case we also use paints. So what is the, when we are conducting the paint activity, spray paint activity in a painting booth, then emission will takes from the spray painting. How we will control this, and how we will control emission of paints to the environment. So we will have to provide LEW, local exhaust, LEV, local exhaust ventilation system in place, and it will be filtered, and after this it will go to the environment. Now, after once we manufacture a product, how we will shift our product to the client. And if we have the resources, if we have the supplier, the local supplier, and they are interested in our products, better to give to them. Why? Because again, it will be easy for us to deliver our service or deliver our products to them without consuming the fuel. So in this case, actually, lot of for the life cycle perspective, lot of competency is required. So once we hiring the people, we have to hire the competent people, so they have some understanding, like in the designing how they can reduce the waste, and how during like the procurement department, how they select the suppliers, the local suppliers, giving more priority. So this actually each step we have to provide a teamwork. Now actually now what's we explain this further. uh, what is a life cycle perspective? Consecutive in interlinked stages of a products or service system, from raw material acquisition or generation, from natural resources to final disposal. The term life cycle is not new to most, but the use of the term life cycle perspective, the life cycle is okay, but perspective, LCPN ISO 14 2015 is a one bigger change. Before in 2004 it was not there, but now we have this, because the risk assessment in terms of life aspect and impact register over here we call this in the health and safety risk assessment. Now, so in this case, if we know the life cycle perspective, then we will understand the aspect and impact register. Actually, when we are talking the life cycle of any manufacturing product or the services, it's from activity to activity we have to understand. Now over here, life cycle perspective, over here we have like the design phase. Then when we are getting the raw material, then when we are like what's the easiest way for us to like how many waters we have to require in our products, how many fuel we will require, how many operations we will require, and do we have some some products there in our products to mix for the recycling or reusing. Then again we will come to deliver up in process cycle. An in process cycle, when we finish this, then again if there is something that we can recycle or we can reuse, we have to uh, do this. After this, we have to deliver our products to the customer. So now the life cycle stages include acquisition of raw material, design, production, transportation, delivery, use, end of life treatment, and final disposal. Let us imagine that our organization produces modern uh, electronic goods, whether television, cell phone, or computer, items that are used in almost every home and workplace. What would this life cycle perspective consideration means for such an organization? Let's consider the step-by-step process. Design and development. During the design and development, we have to consider the environment, the recyclability of the product itself. Sometimes one product, if we have defect or something, again we can use this. Like in steel mill, what we use, like the canes, the tins, canes or something, we can use this. In the glass industry, we can use the used glass, broken glass, call it. So this also our, we can also use this as a raw material. In some operation we can mix. In all other related parts such as packing, sometime for a small thing we have more packing. So packing we can reuse. Can you use recycle packing? Can your packing be recycled after product delivery? If this is the condition. Manufacturing, environmental aspect in the manufacturing sector. Reduce power consumption. How we will reduce our consumption? Now many industries, particularly the waste companies in Abu Dhabi, were there working in the Benias. They are 20%, some companies 20%, some companies 50%. They are using the solar energy. So they have the energy power from the generator, but also they are using the they are also using the solar, and ensuring that your supply chain is protected. The same habits can have a massively beneficial environmental influence. Now, post manufacturing, after the manufacturing, when the manufacturing is complete, post manufacturing, your customer has purchased your product and taken it home. Have you provided appropriate information with the product to ensure that the packing will be recycled? Have you provided information in the user guide to ensure your product can be used in the most power efficient way possible? Have you provided options to make your product possible to upgrade? This may increase the life cycle of a product and also bring a welcome business opportunity for your organizations. End of life. When end of life, we have to consider whether we can use this raw material in the other process, or how we will dispose in the environmental responsible way. This is important. Like see, the life cycle perspective can be applied in choosing, for example, raw materials, environmental impacts of their production, products to manufacture and offer for sale. Same considerations as well as disposal or recycling option at end of the life. Service used by organization, environmental conditions, chemical use, waste generated, equipment purchase like distance transported. Like see, if we have equipment or if we need like some raw material, if locally we have, so why we import? Because in this way we will reduce the cost also and also the environment, because the transportation fuel will use. Option for recycling at end of life. Sometime we have this waste generated in their use. Now the benefits of managing the life cycle perspective. We can now see how vital it is for your organization to plan and manage the life cycle of its products to ensure you have responsibility for the whole life cycle, and not only hopefully. It has also become more evident that store planning in the early stage of product. So in each and every stage there will be planning, and teamwork will be there to discuss the design, operations. They will always be in contact. Significant environmental aspect can result in risk and opportunities related with either adverse environmental impact, threat of beneficial environmental impact opportunities. Now let's see. From the design, identify aspects at each stage of the life cycle. Design we have to consider. Procurement we have to consider. production we have to consider, include environmental requirement. You see here. Now here, transport and delivery. How we will transport and deliver? See, use. Then end of life. Then this is the treatment. So provide information about potential significant environmental aspects. Include, now consider again, include environmental requirements. So if it's now if you have any comments, please write your comments in the and give us the feedback. Give your comments, and if you have some things not clear, give your comments, and we will reply to you. Thank you very much. I will see you in the next video. Thank you.